Hi everyone, Aiden here at the trailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kuat NV Base 2.0 and seeing how it fits in the back of our 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe. This is going to be a platform style bike rack and one of the nicer ones at that. This is going to be able to hold up to 2 bikes, up to 60 pounds each, so good for some of your e-bikes. And it holds the bikes by our front tire primarily using this wheel hook. The wheel hook is a big deal because it doesn't make any frame contact on the bike, so it's going to be a great option for carbon frame bikes as well as alternative frame bikes. The secondary point of contact is the back tire with a wheel strap just holding that back wheel down. That's going to make sure that we get a really strong hold on the bike in the rack here. Really not a whole lot of movement, if any, of the bike within the bike rack itself. Really solid fit. This one, like many others in its class, has the ability to tilt away from the vehicle with bikes loaded. So if you need to get to the back of your Santa Fe and you don't want to unload the whole rack, you don't have to. There's a pedal right by the front tray to release down. It doesn't have a super aggressive tilt, so you don't have to crouch down too far with it if you've got the bike rack fully loaded. It'll make it a bit easier, but it still gives us plenty of room to open up the back hatch on the Santa Fe, get to the back, whatever we need out of it. Maybe sit down and change our shoes before or after our ride. We do have enough room back here to do that, and fully clear, even with the wider handlebars of our mountain bike, which can be an issue for certain cars. But as that lowers down, we can just lift this back into place. That pedal will snap back in, and we can check out one of the other features I like to point out is the integrated cable lock. That's going to be located at the back of each tray, built right into the rack, so you don't have to ever worry about forgetting it. It's not super long, but long enough to get through some part of the frame back here and back to itself to make sure your bikes aren't going anywhere whenever you're out and about. Getting the rack, or the bike removed from the rack, is pretty simple. We're going to start with that back wheel strap, pressing in on the button and pulling the ratcheting strap out. And for the front wheel hook, with one hand on the bike, one hand on the hook, press the button, push up and out. Then everything's completely open to just lift the bike up and away. Because of that open design, things are easy to load and unload because there's no center mast or anything obstructing our view. Then whenever we're done, everything can just fold back into place, and this strap tucks back in. And it's a good idea to point out that this does slide along that back tray the whole length to accommodate for different wheelbases. And at this point, we can get some measurements. Starting off with our ground clearance. The lowest point at the back end is going to be here with our secondary wheel hook. And that's going to be 22.5 inches from the ground. There's a pretty good rise in the shank, and I don't think I'll have to worry about ground clearance with this rack. For the distance we add to the back of our Santa Fe, going from the bumper out, it's going to be sticking out 28 inches, which for a 2-bike rack is pretty solid. It doesn't stick out as far as some other options out there, but it still maintains a good distance from our car, where I'm not worried about handlebars hitting the back glass. It'll fold up for storage using that same pedal that we used before, and be much more compact. The closest point to the vehicle is only 2.5 inches away, which doesn't sound like much, but there's no movement from that pivot point at all. Everything folds and locks in very securely, so I'm not worried about vehicle contact. And in the folded state, it only sticks out 13.5 inches, making it easier to drive around and pull into parking spaces. One of the other things I really like about this is how out of the way it is from everything on your vehicle. License plate, fully visible. Backup camera, unobstructed, and taillights. Even this bit joining the two together, although you don't need it for things like turn signals, is still going to be visible. So aesthetically, your car's still going to be looking very nice. And of course, the back window isn't obstructed either. Down at the bottom, our tool-free anti-rattle knob can be used to tighten things up in the hitch. No movement at all there. It fits in a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube and uses a standard pin to lock in, but it has a lock core on the other side. That lock is key-to-like to the cable locks we saw earlier, so our bikes and our rack are all locked with the same system. No need to worry about messing with different keys and mismatched things on your keychain. Aside from all that though, if you're looking for a really solid platform style bike rack, the Kuat NV is a great way to go. You can upgrade by going to the NV 2.0. This is the NV Base. The NV 2.0 really only differs in the fact that there's different color options and they come with a bike repair stand. So from this part of the bike rack, an arm can come up and out, clamp onto your bike, and allow you to do replacement parts or repairs on the trail if you need to. But honestly, as it stands, the NV Base is a really solid rack. It looks good, it functions well, works with a wide range of bikes, and works really well on the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe. Thanks for watching.